little things that.
Let's see how this works. Hey,
Really? Yeah. Okay, so move your chair a little bit and give us a little more space. You're not in it that much. Okay. You just make it someone to sit.
I don't know where that. Hey, hey.
Hello.
I just told them all about the sucker. I mean, the guy that bought me.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And he's got it all set up today.
Do you know, like, Saladino?
Yeah.
Okay, he's my accountability partner. Okay. You can get a hold of him. Do you have the number?
All right. It's 1 o'clock. Let's do this. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good weekend?
Yes.
A little bit? Anybody sell anything? Oh, hallelujah. Woo, we got one. All right, 2. There we go. There we go. Some folks going to eat pretty well this month. All right. Okay, so first of all, tomorrow, the vendor fair. So who's coming? Oh my gosh, look at all the hands. Does that make you feel better? She's all worried. She's like,
your list.
she's like 13 people have RSVP'd. Who's dressing up?
I might.
Oh, we got a few.
I'm indecisive.
Good, 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 baby. Who's making chili?
I know, I might have a listing of my.
We got 1, 2 chilies, 3 chilies. Anybody else? 4 chilies. Hello, darling. How you doing? All right, good. So bring your friends, bring your neighbors, bring your children. Just make sure we have a lot of people in here because that will really make our little rock star that has just drug her knuckles, blood, sweat, and tears to make this vendor fair happen. So let's give a little shout out to Miss Sarah for all of her. Everybody's been great. It's going to be a fun, and it's going to be a fun day. So what's not to love about chili and making fun of people in costumes? Are you doing the Victoria's Secret thing? Or decided not to?
Couldn't find it.
No judgment. Did you lose like the pasties or something? Are you good? Okay. All right. Just want to make sure.
One for you. Excellent.
So the other piece of that, from last week is the 50 things about you, your value proposition, those top 50 things. Right. So thank you for those of you who have sent those to me. I have one that I did not have your number in my phone, and I could not find you on the roster. So let's talk if you turn something in and I did not reply to you. So who can tell me very quickly why it was important that we were able to give 50 valuable things about ourselves? Why does it matter what your value proposition is?
Because people have to know who you are and what you're about.
People have to know who you are, what you're about. Why does that matter?
Because they're getting into business with you, and people want to know who they're doing business with.
People want to know who they're doing business with.
They're not just giving a blank check.
The bottom line is people work with people they like, period. So how many of you, when you go out of town and you're looking for a place to eat, I travel a lot, so when I'm out of town looking for somewhere to eat, what's the first thing I do?
Yelp.
Yeah. I Google restaurants near me, or I Yelp or whatever, right? I read reviews to figure out where I want to eat. How many of you do that for local restaurants here? You're going to go, you live where you live?
All the time.
You do.
Not just for restaurants.
You're the minority. Most people, that is. It's not a common thing. You already have restaurants you like. You're locally where you live. You have the restaurants you like. You have the relationships you like. You know what's on the menu. You order the same thing every time you go there because the relationship has been established. You don't have to do that, right? You can do that. You don't have to do that. When you travel and you don't know what's going on, you do, right? So the point is people already know you and like you. That's who they're going to be using. So your value proposition is very important. If you have not sent that to me, please send that to me. And when I say if you have not sent that to me, 3 of you have sent me all 50. So there's that. Okay, so what's your plan B? If this real estate gig doesn't work out, what's your plan B? Let's hear it.
I'm wear a tire.
No, to eat, like, the plan B.
I am already married to a guy that supports me.
Oh, well, that's good. So, okay, plan B, sugar daddy. All right.
I got one of those.
Gigolo, male gigolo.
Yeah, sugar daddy, what else? What's your other, who else has plan B?
Male stripper?
Stop it. Come on. Well, you, I think
You're
we're
gonna start.
recording. Is this
You're
recording?
gonna start.
You tell the truth.
What else? I mean, there should be lots of plan
I'll go
Bs.
back to working in the restaurant.
Restaurants? So fun.
I don't have to.
Retail.
Should I just be a bowl coach?
Yeah.
There you go. Retail. So we have a few plan Bs. I really don't care. I just want you all thinking about it. All right? I
I
do
don't know what
care.
I would do.
No, I think I don't care. I care. Okay. So the goal, mainly as realtors, what we have to do is focus on the fight. Our job is to focus on the fight. So I was thinking about this over the weekend. I was like, okay, people want a new ad, or I want to reinvent myself, or I want a new card, or I want, whatever. Really what we need to focus on is the fight. What's the real fight that's going on right now? As a realtor, if you think about the one thing you need to think of every day, what's the one thing I need to focus on every day when I wake up? That's ultimately the real fight. What?
Lead generation.
Lead generation,
Motivation.
motivation. Why do you lead generate? New listings.
Well, why? Because I want to eat. Again, an idea.
Do you want to eat? When you lead generate, what are you doing?
Building business.
Yeah, I guess.
You're building a business.
Connecting with people.
Oh, you bought the phone stand and you said the right things.
Yeah.
I mean, you're probably going to get your butt kicked after this class. I'm just saying. So our goal is to focus on the fight, and the fight is keeping the agent at the center of the transaction, reminding your people that you are the fiduciary, protecting the relationship. That's what you're doing. You're protecting the relationship. I was just having a conversation about how sales are down with my team because I'm not there to protect the relationship. I have phenomenal nurturers. I have phenomenal protectors on my team. I need a driver that's going to reach out to these people and protect the relationship. That's what your number one goal is every single day. We overthink it. We make it way too complicated. Your job is just to find out how their kids are, what's going on, or how's their health, or what new restaurants have they tried lately, or what plans do they have, right? We just go by forward. Right? What plans do they have this week? How's their job going? That's your job. That's your number one concern, is that relationship and what that looks like. So we talked about the reviews and checking on those types of things. Consumers, if you look at consumers as commission events, right? And you think of your consumer and what that looks like, it's being able to track it. That's why Command right now is so critical, right? Getting on board with that so we can track it. Anything you track improves, right? What's the first thing when you're trying to lose weight people tell you to do? Write down everything you eat. Track your calories, right? Anything you track improves. The issue with us is we don't track enough because, well, I mean, he's my friend. He's going to call me to sell his house, and I'm just waiting. He's told me he's thinking about it, and, so we're just going to wait for him to call us. So it's not that. We've got to track it. We've got to figure out a way to monetize this and track it. So if we're here, and let's see, maybe I will move this to the middle so that the folks watching, okay, let's all pray that I don't, yeah, here we go. Okay, still visible, cool. Okay, so if we look at the transaction, the period of when you touch someone, you know what I mean, when you reach out to, telling you, woo, we got off today, didn't we?
There we go.
Woo, we got off. Okay, so when you look at what this relationship looks like here, okay, and we think of, this is when they bought a house with us, and what's the average amount of time they spend in a house now?
7 years.
So we're going to say this is 7 to 10 years. This is the gap between when they bought and when they're going to buy again, okay? So when you look at this and you see the ebbs and flows of, we've built up this relationship, they close a house with us, and then time goes on, and then they sell their home, and hopefully that's with us. So the idea is, what happens? What do these touches look like, right? And then how do we keep this from being 7 to 10 years? Because they may stay in their house 7 to 10 years, and they may buy a home, and they, you know, may decide to sell something here. But we're waiting for here. So what are we doing here to make sure that they remember us?
Giving them updated information about them, about their home, their neighborhood, any information that might make them make a decision.
Again, people do business with people they like. So I'm going to say it to you all again. It's the same concept of, I walk into the store, Scott's the salesman. I walk in and Scott says,
Hi, how are you?
I'm great.
How can I help you find something?
Nope, I'm just looking. And I go to the back of the store. And I shop, and I find the shoes I like. And then I decide, you know what? I found these shoes, they're amazing, and I'm going to try them on. Hey, Lisa, could you go get these for me in a size 8?
Yeah, you're not gonna go back into the.
Because Lisa's right here. I'm not going to walk all the way back to the front of the store and say, oh, hey, you're the one that said, hi, can I help you? Can you help me? That's not how our minds work. We've got to figure out how we're either going to keep going around the store and following him, figuring out what he's doing, or what am I going to do to constantly check on him to make sure that he comes back to me when he needs the aids. Because he greeted me. He was the one that was nice to me. He did what he was supposed to do. Lisa was in the right place at the right time.
You forgot about him 20 seconds after you walked past him.
Not intentionally. And your clients do the same thing. Your friends do the same thing. So we can talk about this. And so last week was productive, right? I got lots of text messages from you all right in here. You texted your positive things about you right from this room. You did your homework. When you were put under the gun, I said, send it to me now. You all sat right there and you did it. So when we talk about what this looks like, and again, let's just go from here of when this is lead gen. Okay, so when you're sending out touches, that type of thing, right? Until when they actually decide to move. Was that a bless you? I don't know if that was a cough or what. And so this here's the lead gen time. This is when they decide to move, and this is the. I'm just gonna run. You're not having a good day.
You would have thought I was up there.
That's the follow-up, right? So we've got to figure out the follow-up is what we need to be doing, right? Not just the touches in between here. This is the piece. So we've got to, what system, what can we do? What can we put in place that we're constantly checking back in, right? I know I said hi to you earlier. Hey, are you still looking for anything? You still good? Is there anything else I can do to help you? Right? Instead of waiting until they decide to try something on and forget about us. So it's figuring all that out. So how do you communicate with them in between? So we talked about this at Business Planning Clinic a couple weeks ago. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to break up in groups, and you guys are going to walk away today with a 19 to connect plan. So who can tell me, and I'm not going to, like, there's no judgment. What are some of the things that you do to have 19 touches? Okay, I want to create 19 touches.
Birthday cards.
And it looks like this. So there's 4 touches. And then there's 12 touches. And then there's 2. And then there's 1 big thing. What does that look like?
4 touches, phone calls, quarterly.
Excellent. Quarterly phone calls. Scott, he's on your table. What else?
Landing pages in command.
Okay.
Or the neighborhood snapshots.
So the neighborhood snapshot, right? So when we're looking here and we're looking at what these could be, so these are going to be, each 12 touches are like newsletters, your magnets, right? Those types of things. So those could be the neighborhood touch. We'll put newsletter. What else?
Mailings.
Yeah, these right here are gonna be more promotional things, so think of, when you say promotional, think of that as being something that's promoting you. So if you did a
A magnet,
Magnet.
calendar.
calendar, you know, a sports schedule, that kind of thing.
Email campaigns.
Okay, so yeah, up here, perfect. Email campaigns. So specifically, what's in those? What's something you could email somebody?
And anything. It could be your
Your
listing, it could be.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, it could be birthday, it could be
Anniversary.
listing. So lots of different things that could go in there, right? So what we're gonna do is, we're gonna create a couple of groups. Oh, and this is your big event. So right, this is gonna be like a client event. And so we're gonna break up here in a little bit and put these things together of what are some pieces that you could do. And then as you come up with those, we're gonna take a little time probably after to stay after just a little bit and actually create them. So I have found that I feel like we're at a point now where in order to get it done, we just need to physically be there and get it done, right? So what can we do to sit down here? Is it gonna matter? We've talked about crossover rate. We just had that conversation. So if we're talking about all of us creating one piece, what if we made one newsletter in this room today? And Debbie sends it out to all of her people, and Arturo sends it out to all of his people, and Donna sends it out to all of her people. What if Donna's people know that that was Arturo's newsletter?
How would they know?
Or maybe Arturo copied her newsletter.
I did. I confess.
They are gonna know. So that it goes back to we're overthinking it. We just have to be the ones, right, that reach out to them. We have to be the ones that do it. He gave a great example. Who wants to share the story from Bold last week of what that looked like? Of somebody who had emailed and emailed and emailed, and then all of a sudden there was a phone call.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Anybody remember it?
Yeah.
Violet.
Yeah, so, Steve Schluter, he was a Bold coach, and he was giving an example of how he was receiving these email campaigns from, this agent. And then, and he was just kind of not even opening them and whatever, and then she called him, and he's like, who's this? And then she started to have a full conversation with him, and the next thing you know, he remembered, and he's like, and then it was like, oh my gosh, he kind of like remembered, but then it was like, oh my God, that's the person's email that I've been seeing that I've never even opened. But subconsciously, your mind looks at that, and then, the more she started talking and whatever happened.
Well, he said
But
he
it
got
was
off
like
that
that whole-
conversation and he felt, he said, I just got forwarded.
Right.
He didn't think about it until he hung up the phone. He's like, I just got forwarded. And then all of a sudden, he felt this connection. And he said, if I ever had a referral in that area, that's the lady I'm going to call. Who can tell me what's Ford? We have some people here that aren't in that class. What's Ford?
Family, occupation,
Recreation.
recreation,
And dreams. So literally, it's how's the family? What's been going on? How was your anniversary dinner? Right? Like those kinds of things. And so then it's, and so what's been going on with work? You still with so-and-so? You still, those types of things? What do you all have planned for the holidays this year? What are you all going to do for next year? You going on any vacation? Do you have any trips? It's easy, right? It's natural conversation. So he said, just by having that one, so we can email all we want. They may or may not get opened. The idea is that we've sent them something, and I don't care if Kathleen ever opened it. Now I have an excuse. I can call her and say, hey, Kathleen, I've been sending you some emails. No pressure. I want you to feel guilty. Do you ever open those? I mean, do they ever have anything in there that's of value to you? Right? Like an idea, just a reason to have a conversation. So right now, when we talk about the things that you all are doing, that you're sending to your folks, what are they? What are some things that you send out via email right now?
It's time to turn your clock back.
Okay, so time changes. What'd you say, Herb?
I've been sending market snapshots.
Okay, market snapshots. Does anybody do a newsletter? Perfect. So newsletters.
I've been sending the Corfac postcards, your Chicago title, to my farm.
Okay. So, is that correct? Fact postcards. Those are the things that just show what's sold and everything.
Those are the ones that has there's a website.
How much
And you go and you can, make some modifications and then if anybody does log on and do that, you get a notification
And you see it.
and you see who actually took the time to do
Okay.
it.
And so see now, is that something that you pay for?
You pay for that.
So now, I
like
mean,
you pay for any other postcard.
yeah, you'd have to, so it's just the cost of the postcard.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can do that through command. So now with your website, if you wanted to send them to redirect them to your website, when they come in there, you get that, you capture that information, it goes directly into your contacts in command. So there are some things like that that you can start to do. What else?
I emailed contest,
Okay,
trying to get my data or my database more complete.
okay. What are some different things?
I did, well, I didn't do it this year, but I did Halloween. I did a Halloween coloring contest because someone had told me somewhere that everybody seems to like you if you like their children.
It's true.
So I was targeting the children to,
I mean, one of the things that we do is all of our people that are in our VIP group, we send their kids a Halloween card with stickers in it. We don't send it to the parents, we send it to the kid, just little stickers, and yeah, and they love it. So, what else? See, I can tell you all mine. I don't have anybody here. What else? What are some other things that you all do? Touch wise,
But you're
we're talking
talking
about
about
something you would
email,
send
right?
over email.
right, that's what I said, you're talking email.
Mhm.
Okay.
You can do a video.
Perfect. So do you see, we have this many people in a room. This is what we've been able to come up with so far. Why it's so hard when you walk out of here and I say, oh, hey, go do this. Go on, chop, chop, get to that 19th to connect. You know, I think it's much easier if we all just collaborate and just do it. Right? Let's just knock it out, collaborate and get it done while we're right in here instead of worrying about what we're going to do when we leave the room and if it's ever going to get done and just pray really hard. It'll happen. This is where we get, right? So, okay. So right now, if you're looking at this and you're looking at, this is where the lead gen happens. And the biggest thing I want you all to get from this is when they close on their house, and the biggest thing that we focus on is the lead generation piece and all these things that we need to do to generate leads. So the biggest piece is actually what?
They switch.
Yeah, which is still this, right? But the emails and all of that, that's what people put so much focus on. And the activity actually needs to be in the follow-up. So what if we're sending them things now that have to do with just what are some of the tools that we have that we could actually send people that could really help them?
Keller Mortgage.
Keller Mortgage for what?
Refinance.
To refinance, right? Like that's huge. That's very helpful to them. What else? We don't actually have access to it right now. When are we going to be able to get it covered? Have they said anything, John? Have you heard the
We should
latest?
have it now. I mean, I think we can.
Do all the agents have it right now?
I think they can go in and.
I know at the beginning of the month, everybody didn't. You should be able to add it. If you go into your app store, well, what's it called? Your marketplace, yeah.
Yeah,
And
marketplace.
add Keller Covered, you should be able to add that now to your command and be able to send that. Because I didn't know, mine's not popping up on my mobile app.
I'll have to check into that.
Okay,
You're-
thank you.
Maybe you're still in Kentucky.
I know, maybe they just have me, but you may, right? And you may. So you want to be able to send them that because that's something that people have already, agents have been testing that and sending that out to their clients. And they're saving money just from insurance. Like those are just follow-up things that have absolutely nothing to do with the value of your home or, you know, those are actually value pieces that you can send them. What else? We had a class on it. We did a Zoom and the lady over it came in and talked to us about it.
Social media.
It's on the front of a house and sometimes it's covered and sometimes it's not. Porch.
Porch.
True. Porch.
Thank you. Out of here. I'm gonna do that by myself. Okay, good, okay.
Well, because you made it sound like it was part of like our 19 touches.
A follow-up, absolutely. What can they do with Porch? How can Porch be helpful to them? Anything that's wrong with their house, they can get a quote on it. And it's gonna be attached to you and come back to you, right? So those are vendors that you can have conversations with the Porch people of who you'd like to be in there, or who you'd like to see them in business with, you know? Yeah,
So this is what we're using for inspections, right?
Sure.
So we can do that also and send it to people that we spoke to.
yeah. So if you don't have a certain vendor for something and there is a vendor for that on Porch, send it. I'm not saying you put your vendors out of business. I'm just saying there's multiple things you can do, right, with that tool. So just all of the things that we already have that we can use for follow-up. So there's also in there, somebody said it earlier, birthday cards. Violet, there was somebody that did, Alex, he's out of Nashville. He's gonna kill me if I can't. Branna, anyway, Alex. And he used to sing happy birthday, and he would do a quick happy birthday video, and he would just shoot them, and they stayed on his computer, and it was happy birthday. He would sing happy birthday to Kim, and happy birthday to Mike, and happy birthday to, right, whatever. And then all the Mikes in his database, he sent that video to them for their birthday. And all the Kims in his database, he sent the video to them for their birthday, right? So that's another video that you could do. You just love to sing, you wanna, right? Or you could just reach out and say, hey, Herb, wishing you a happy birthday, and email him a video or text him a video. So what are some other, okay, so instead of having you all do this out loud, let's break up. And so if we're looking at those 19 touches and we're just looking at these 12 things right here, okay? So I'm gonna we're just gonna do, I think, let's do 3 groups. And each group is gonna give us 4 of those touches. Now, that's a lie. One group is gonna work on the newsletter, and the other 2 groups are gonna give us the rest of the touches. So the reason that I do that is because you're actually gonna draw this thing out, right? So who's already has a newsletter that they like doing it? Hands went up when I said who does the newsletter. Now there's no hand.
I mean, I have a newsletter, but I send mine out, it's a physical, not email.
Yeah. So either way, but it's still just a template, right? Of something we can draw out and say, all I'm wanting is events going on in town to go here, right? Recipe to go here, the holiday, whatever, to go here. So, so let's do 3 groups, and let's have right down here in the middle. So you guys over here, you all are in charge of the newsletter. And right here, you guys are going to give us 6 touches. And this group over here, you all are going to give us 6 touches. So when I say one of the touches, let's just say one of the touches is going to be a birthday card. What's the system around the birthday cards? So if you write our touches birthday card, out beside of that or below it or wherever, it needs to have, we need to have X number of birthday cards purchased. We need to have stamps on hand. We address them all on the 15th of October to be ready to go out November 1, right? I need to see the system behind what that touches. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So that we all have a little more clarity around what it is. And it's not all going to be that complicated, so don't freak out. But just the 6 and 6. So we're going to end up with 1 extra touch because everybody's not going to do a newsletter. Everybody's not going to do it. It's okay. Before you all start hollering at me over a 13 touch campaign. So we're going to do 12 of those. Okay. So you guys are going to group together and work on 6 touches for us. You all go ahead and group together and work out 6 touches for us. Do you all need paper? Do you need pens? What do you need? Do you need anything?
Coffee.
Coffee? Would anyone like a snack? Or, okay, so we're just going to take 10 minutes. 10, maybe 15 if you need it, because we're going to take some time to plan it out, and we're going to take some time to present it. You're not off the hook. You have to do this. Yeah,
So here, sort of how you doing today?
Good, man, how are you? Good to see you.
Great to see you. Great to see you. Well, here's what I will say. I do like religion. I do birthday cards, and I do home anniversary. I do that every month now. I usually address mine about the 15th to the 18th of the month. Like my Novembers are all sitting on my desk. But what I do, because you gotta remember when to send them out.
Jeez.
Mom, quiet. Damn it.
If I take a picture.
So
How many are on you?
my desk, but they should have
She
gone
would
out
be.
already.
I'm loud, I apologize.
They closed
What I do is for the stamp pros, is the day that they have to mail out. I mail them out. I leave the stamps off, because I'm not starting to remember this. Because I want them all. So let's say your home anniversary is November 5th, it's gonna go out November 1st. What I usually write inside mine, can you believe it's been 3 years since you washed your house?
still the house of your dreams?
I'd like to know if there's anything you've done to your home, so that I can give you a fresh.
But it's not personal.
I
I want that.
Well, but I guess, but I'm, well, I'm giving you what's inside also. I write it, because she's looking for a complete detail. So what I'm saying is, I've been there, it's been 3 years old. I would like to give you a free home update on your home.
No. I'm
Would
looking
you
at another one.
email me
She's
a
the
list of everything you've done to the home
But
since
they're
you
only
bought it? And if there's any other concerns you have, please let me know. And while I'm at it, if there's anybody you know that could use my help, please pass on a business card. I enclosed 2 business cards with my anniversary card. One for them to keep, because they may have lost it. You know, in the second one, and I have had more responses to that than what I used to do. I used to just write happy 3rd anniversary, sign my name and put 1 business card. And when I did it that way, I would say I got less than 1% response. I get people, I just sent one out 2 weeks ago, and the lady called me, goes, it was so kind of you to send me, she left me a voicemail, and it said, look, I'm thinking about opening my own dental practice. And she reminded me, obviously I sent her an email, you sold me the townhouse in Cherry Brook Village. She wants my help to find her a dental.
So we're gonna send them on my Excel sheet. I already have all this.
All handwritten.
Yeah.
All handwritten. I do not put anything on the computer. The only thing that I have that's not handwritten is my return label. But even their address, I don't put it on the computer. I handwrite their address. But I do use a stick, you know, I print the label for the return.
How many did they give you?
I would say I do anywhere from 8 to 15 a month.
I know, but you know, the thing is.
So-
And what I usually do is I usually order 75 at a time anniversary cards and 75 at a time birthday cards. And they're packs of 4, or they're 4 different ones in the pack, you know, so that they're not all the same. I try to like, if this, let's say I sold something to a male, I try to pick out one that's a little more masculine. If it's a couple, then it doesn't matter.
So I would instead of a monthly.
That is.
I'll tell you what, if you send me an email, I will send you exactly what I put in there. So basically,
So that would be like, maybe you put in.
Birthday cards, I write, happy birthday, I hope you have a great day and even a better year. I don't want it to be about just a day, I want them to think that I'm thinking about the whole year. So if you walk up to someone and say, well, I hope you have a good day, no, you want them to have a healthy year, it's about the long term. You know, it's no different than our kids.
What have y'all come up with so far?
So that would be something.
I'm explaining what my process is on my birthday cards and what I write in there. how I order them,
Swift cards,
And then
handwritten,
all handwritten.
order cards, and
That's how I order them.
What's your size? Well, get them ready.
I told my dean between the 15th and
And then are you gonna mail them all out? Mail them out each week?
I mail mine, I told them 4 days, I mail mine 4 days before the
Hey, what about everybody else? Are you all thinking the same thing?
Well, I'm just giving them my thoughts.
Yeah, no, that's it. I want to write something down.
You guys all, well, here's a good question.
Okay. Because the idea is to have the system, right? Have it in place.
I don't wanna mail something to somebody on the first if their birthday's on the 25th.
Yeah. so it's like- Or you could say I just want first. I buy random ones, I buy them online through Amazon. Feel free to come by my office, I'll show you what I got. I have no problem with that. This is not a secret, it's something anybody can do. I searched around and I found random cards, and I scooped up which ones I send to people. I'll even give you the link to where I get them from. Perfect. So there's your
We're all here for
cards,
the same reason.
5 more. What are your other 5 touches?
The business, the birthday cards, right?
Okay, yeah, birthday cards, what are your other 5 things?
The home anniversary cards.
Home anniversary cards, what about people in your database that's not on home? All right.
Early January this year, I put out there my personal goals for the year. Yeah, it's just a little more personal and not just.
So that would be a good to know, there's, and now, yeah. So I'm just gonna give you a hint, possible holidays for edible control on the next, right now.
You can't eat too soon.
Oh, sorry, well, you're 7 minutes in, you got 7 minutes left. You have
I
another
send out
5.
a Thanksgiving card
Perfect.
every year.
Or it could be a text.
Like, what am I gonna?
Oh, that, you're gonna help me with that.
Yeah.
I do a New Year's, I'll be honest, I do a New Year's card, the reason I do a New Year's card, some people are non-denominational, you don't wanna insult anybody, so I switch, I only do a New Year's card now. I don't do a Christmas card or a Hanukkah card, I just do a New Year's. Thanksgiving is pretty universal.
What else?
What about your event?
Oh, come on. Right, okay.
Now, what I do, if you wanna add, if you guys want an added touch, what I do.
And what else? Just think of everybody that's in your database now.
January
Yeah.
9th, I
Everybody's in
mail
your database.
everybody a copy of their closing
So,
statement that I've
got
been
right
dealing
now,
with.
one touch.
I send their closing statement
You have 5
and
minutes,
tell them,
5
don't forget
touches.
to include this in your account.
Except for the first time required.
However, you gotta do 19
If they bought
touches
it
to everybody.
2019, I send it to them January 9th, 2020, so that they have it for their account. Because you know, how many people, they file it away and forget about it,
Yep.
so this is just a reminder.
Those are the
Because
statements.
there's items on there that are tax deductible.
You wanted the real, so that's the money.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely. Because there's things that are.
Yeah, that's, so closing statement, when you can mail that one?
January 9th. And I do that, I don't care if it's the Sunday, that goes in the mail on the 9th. I have just done that like religion. Somebody told that to me back in 2011, and I've done it ever since.
We find the closing statements of that location.
Movie.
Yeah.
So you told me that, Stefan Moran.
What if you lived in an area where you have a problem?
Yeah.
What kind of like community service?
And then we.
I, when I have my closing, I make a copy of it right there and then, and I stuff it in an envelope. It's mine are already in an envelope. Anything from January till now, they're already in an envelope. The only thing that I haven't put in there yet is a letter explaining what to do with it. I haven't done my letters yet.
So obviously there's a way
Yeah.
sometimes.
I buy 500 envelopes at a time, so I always, yeah.
We're missing one last search.
The real basic things is just.
Well,
No, we have five, right?
You take the two letters.
either the sports magnets or a year end or a calendar. Does anybody here send out calendars?
But that is only Christmas, the Christmas time, so maybe we spread it more and do it the year kind of thing.
A lot of people send out calendars in November, because think about it, you send it out in January, some people already have doctor's appointments. If you're gonna send out a calendar, I would send out a 2020 calendar in November, not in January. Think about it, you wanna get to them, just think about it,
2020 calendar in November.
at the end of November.
Yeah, that should be more something that.
You go to, it's way. You are, but a lot of people are.
Video you guys.
Right.
This is awesome, thank you.
I have a calendar on there when the dog goes to the vet. It doesn't matter what it is. If I have something, oh, how's my wife gonna know what I we both end up double booking or something. And trust me, it happens. If you don't.
He said, look, my son is saying.
And not just like, oh, here's a city within, here's a city.
You know, you have three sides, it's like the north side only gets covered.
Prospect, no,
And then my
prospect.
seat from this covers. If you're doing from the farm,
Huh?
you got the label after quote, and the middle of the day.
Says your microphone is not working
Can you say that like that?
Did I step on something?
Absolutely. Remember one thing, you gotta have a disclaimer on there, because if their house is listed with another agent.
Talk like that.
You wouldn't push that either.
There's a two or three companies, just Google it, put personalized calendars.
Isn't this creative? This lady sent me things
And
and
then
I'm
you
on
have to
fire.
figure out how you're gonna package
Last week, she said, well, give us a shot.
it.
It was a little,
You're gonna lay it out.
and this week she sent me, I'm planning with
Are you gonna need it out?
I love jelly beans.
everything.
Are you gonna mix it?
But you know something? Arturo, you will remember that.
Yeah,
It's in your head.
you can have one each. Don't abuse it, just one.
You know what I created? Oh my goodness, that is so cute.
Arturo, that's something you guys will remember. It's so cute, it's so cute, it's so cute. How do you can't not forget about it? And here, think about it. The only mistake she made, she doesn't.
I was like, I don't think I did anything.
I understand that, but think about this.
All right, wrap up this final thought.
Label, and you show us, now you're showing it to 5 more people.
Wrap it up, wrap it up.
That might consider using it. I'm gonna take one.
Okay. All right, so Lisa, since you're standing. Let's hear from group one on the newsletter here. First of all, give them a big shout out because that was super hard. Excellent. Thank you all. Thank you all. Nobody cried. Nobody said, no, we're not going to do it. So tell us about the newsletter.
We're in this together.
Okay, so the newsletter, there's a couple ways of doing it. First of all, Violet and I both have subscriptions for what we send out, but if we're trying to do this on the cheap, Polish method. So, if you're gonna do it, obviously you're gonna do a 11 by 17 page, print it on both sides. So you're gonna come up with your name. If you're gonna do this on a regular basis, so you're gonna put some kind of a date on there. You know, spring of 2019, fall of 2019. You're gonna have some kind of a letter or maybe a snapshot of the community that you're working out of it. Obviously, it's gonna encompass a couple villages. We talked about doing a just listed, just sold, and a featured listing. We talked about putting that here. Your picture goes in the bottom. You're gonna have either some kind of a really cool quote, or you're gonna have a riddle. You're not gonna put the answer in the newsletter. You're gonna make them wait till the next time you send it out. Okay. These are basically all the things that you're going to include in your newsletter. You're gonna rotate them out because they're all not gonna fit every time you do it. So you're gonna have community announcements, upcoming events that you're gonna do. You know, pie event, movie night. You're gonna go to your trusted vendors that you're working with. You're gonna get a coupon out of them. They're going to become the featured contractor, let's say, for the month. You have maybe a health spotlight, a new health spot that's going in. Violet and I are talking about going to this new salt thing or whatever. She's going to make me go. All about our farmers markets in the area, where they're all located, what the hours are. Travel spotlight. Let's say you go up to Lake Geneva, you do something on Lady of the Lake. You might take pictures, include that, maybe a camping trip, recipe for the month. You know, you could ask your clients to all send you their favorite recipes and just rotate a group, okay, or whatever your village snapshot's going to be, and maybe a featured pet. So there's tons of stuff that you can do.
And Lisa, approximately how many pages would this?
11 by 17.
Doubles.
One page.
So show Violet, show her yours, see how it's folded. So it's technically 4 separate little.
So mine is, and this is a subscription, right? So I have absolutely no input into what goes in it. Mine goes out to my database every other month. And so every other month, I get one just like this as if I was a consumer, right? And so, you know, like whatever this month is, it's doctors are prescribing regular doses of nature, and there's an article about that. And then on the inside cover, there's a travel spotlight. No, this one doesn't have a travel, but it's like a medical thing. Medical spotlight, there's a hobby spotlight, and then on the back, there's always a recipe, and then my contact information. So my contact information is on the front and on the back. And then inside is the info.
So you don't have to, you know, the traditional, what we think of a one-page newsletter, you know, right? You can break it up. Like, that looks great. So, and if you wanted to do it on your own, you still could. Just buy higher quality paper, or you could pay someone to print them out and you fold them and mail them yourself, what have you. What I want you all to focus on are the things here of how you can incorporate adding people into your database and having more conversations with more people. So if you're looking at the village snapshot, what about the local businesses that are in there? What about the people that are at the dog parks or out walking? Or why do you do this? I want to feature, you know, in my newsletter, why people do what they do, right? Excuses to not be a weirdo and have things to talk about to people, right? Recipes, I love that. Reach out to your clients and ask them to send you their favorite recipe. That's a touch. That's an easy thing to do without feeling like you're calling them on a sales call, right? Like, it's just reaching out, asking what their favorite recipe is, and asking for their permission to include it in your newsletter or contests or whatever you want to use it for, right? A travel spotlight. Like, those are phenomenal. And why not? I know there's several people that it's just like a thing when they go to another town, they find another Keller Williams. and take a picture in front of it. That would be something really cute to add in there, you know, just an opportunity to be able to include those things in. The farmer's market is awesome. What if you gave away a gift card to the farmer's market, or, you know, agreed to whatever? There's all kinds of things that you could do. You could do a contest with people at the farmer's market. If you only send me a recipe with only ingredients that you could purchase at the farmer's market. There's just fun things you could do with that. The health spotlight, having those conversations with your doctors and your dentists and your chiropractors and your therapists and all of those people of, hey, what are some things that you're seeing right now that are really common that people are dealing with? What are some things that I could feature in my newsletter to help better educate people or to drive into your business? Right? If you show them value, they're going to reciprocate. And if they don't, show another doctor value. New businesses and coupons, I love those. People always want to be a part of that. Your trusted vendors and partners, this is just another way to lock them in, you know, to make sure that they keep you at top of mind. Upcoming events in the community, and then different community announcements. The featured pet, I'm telling you all, right now you have time. It is not too late. Today is Monday. Halloween is Thursday. What if you put out on your social media page today, put together a cute little something or other. You could do it in Command, you could do it in Publisher, you could do it in Canva. I don't care as long as you do it. Put together a cute little flyer that says Halloween contest, costume contest for your pet. Yeah, right. Put it out there today. Hey, enter to win. Send me a picture of your pet all dressed up. You know, you have until Thursday to get it to me. Nobody's thinking about it before then anyway, right? So do that. And then Friday, it's a little giveaway. Win a gift card to Target or a gift card to what have you. Yes.
I just have a question. When you do that, let's say you do it on social media, do you do that on your business page or both business
Private.
and personal?
I do it on personal.
You do everything in personal, if I'm right? Okay.
Yeah, because we do so much that's just like personal stuff on there, that the touches that we do have that are business based, we get a lot of feedback on, or we get a lot of interaction with. So I haven't, if you were doing business, then yes, I would do that on your business page. We just don't have as many people. You know, you have way more following, like way, friends and followers, what have you, on your personal page than your normal. So yeah, because that's just something fun for all of your friends and everybody, right? It's just a little reminder. So make sure that you put your team logo or whatever, do a dog with a costume and somehow fit that on there. You know, something, make it cute. There's time to do that. Very good. Give them a big hand. That's excellent. Yeah, so before everybody leaves today, make sure you grab a picture of that, or I'll probably take pictures and put that on the Facebook page. That's great. Okay, so let's hear. We have time for some of your all's ideas, group 2. Let's hear what you
No,
have.
you go ahead. You repeat it.
No, you.
Okay, fine. So one of the things, I guess I'm stuck. One of the things that we discussed as a group was buying bulk ahead of time, birthday cards, anniversary cards, because you don't want to go out, you don't want to think about it the day before, because then you'll put it off. So what I personally do is I usually order 75 birthday cards at a time, 75 anniversary cards at a time. All of my envelopes are handwritten, and all my cards are handwritten. Nothing goes through the computer other than my label, my return label. And for my birthday cards, I always put in there, you know, for me, it's have a happy birthday and an even better rest of the year. Because I want people to know that I'm not just thinking about one day, I'm thinking about the long term.
Okay.
And for the anniversary cards, what I put in there is, can you believe it's been 3 years since you bought your home? If you'd like some updates on the value of your home, could you please send me a list of all the updates you've done since you purchased the home, and I will send you a market snapshot of the value of your home. And I do that all handwritten. And then at the bottom, I'll write, P.S. If you know of anybody that could benefit from my services, please let me know. I include 2 business cards. I assume they've already lost the one that they had when they bought the house from me. So I put 2 in there, one for them and one to give to somebody else.
Okay. So one of the things that we started doing is we do those closing folders. Do you all use those big plastic folders that everything goes in, and it has like a little slide pocket for business cards. We put a bunch, as many as will fit in that thing, we put them in there. And that way, when we are having conversations with them or what have you, we'll say, oh, and you have some of our business cards in the front of that envelope if you need them. We just say that we don't send business cards in our birthdays, but
The other
everybody's
thing
different,
that
it's something
I,
you can do.
the other thing that I told them was, what I do is on January 9th, and it's just my date that somebody gave me 8 years ago, I send the closing anybody that I did a deal with, whether it was a buy or a sell, I send the closing statement, and I'll say, don't forget to give this to your accountant. There's items on here that are tax deductible that could benefit you in a possible tax refund.
Excellent, excellent. So up here, I had asked both groups, because both of you had written down home anniversary cards or home anniversary, what have you. And I said, what about all the people in your database that have not bought a home with you? Because we gotta have 19 touches for everyone, not just 19
So
touches for
that's
people who
where
bought homes.
we were talking about the calendar.
So, but let's go back to this, and let's go back to this. Anniversary cards and birthday cards, it could be their wedding anniversary. It could be the anniversary of their new job, if you're following things on LinkedIn. It could be their pet's birthday, right? Like there's different things that you can do to incorporate these cards. So somehow that's gonna give you one. We got 5 minutes, and I still need
Well, it's real simple.
10 more.
If you stalk people, John taught me this, Ziamba. If you stalk people on Facebook, you can get a lot of information of their
Absolutely.
anniversaries right off of Facebook.
Absolutely, and then it goes right into your database. What else? What are some other touches? Because they're gonna write down, they have all their systems, I'm gonna collect these and I'm gonna post the system behind everything. So let's just real quickly, because we have like 3 minutes. What are some of the other touches? We need 10 more.
Thanksgiving cards.
Thanksgiving cards. Thanksgiving,
New Year's Eve.
New
New
Year,
Year's Day.
Gratitude cards?
gratitude.
I like that one. That's a good one. Never thought about that.
Video emails?
Video email of what?
Something more personal.
Non-real.
One thing is like real estate myths.
Okay.
A lot of people think one thing, but it might not be true.
Okay. Do you all see why it's so hard for us to put these touches together?
We talked about sending out a calendar in November and not in January. I think people send them out too late because people with kids, they're planned out 2-3 months ahead of time, whether it be soccer games, football games, doctor's appointments, vet appointments. You know, you're not making it in January for January. You're making it in November or December for January. So you've got to be 2 months ahead of time with your calendars.
Okay, so calendars. Somebody put on the Facebook page, what are some ideas for magnets to mail out that don't include sports? So maybe just your business card.
Menu item.
A notepad,
Okay, a notepad.
like a to-do.
So I'm gonna put a calendar or a notepad. Yeah, I like that.
Grocery list.
Yeah, notepad, grocery list.
A lot of people have, I've gotten them in the mail where it has a recipe
Okay.
on a magnet.
Oh, yeah, where you can fill off the recipe every month. Yep, okay.
I did one that had all like, little, quotes like about gratitude every month,
Okay,
like a quote calendar.
quotes. So lots of different things here that you could mail that are magnets up on the refrigerator, right? What else? Maybe bookmarks. So you can order bookmarks and we have your information. Okay, bookmarks.
I think Raina was on the right touch because people forget about it. For an email one, when she mentioned the time changes, you know, that's 2 touches a year. Rolling the clock forward, rolling the clock back. I think
Yep.
that's 2 good ones.
So those are good. We also have to keep in mind that now everyone carries what?
Phone
And what happens automatically with your phone,
changes automatically. And
right?
but
It's still
your
a touch,
but your microwave, your stove, your
right?
bedside clock, those don't change.
I know, I'm saying, no, it's still a touch, but keep in mind, that's an example of one of those things that's changing on us, right? So don't become totally reliant on that. That's a good one to leave in there.
Texting, like Happy Mother's Day messages, Happy Thanksgiving, gratitude messages. I started doing that last year and including texting as part of one of my touches.
And you get more responses from it, that's well.
And then I'll make it fun and either include a Bitmoji. And you can even make it more fun because now you can include a Bitmoji with them, whoever it is, like if you're
They
very
have
close
one
to
set
somebody.
up.
that's on, you know, like, whatever, but anyway, you can, I mean, yeah, you can do something like that.
Okay, so that's 9. I need 2 more.
I have one. I'm very Irish, so on St. Patrick's Day mailing out a little letter with a lottery card saying about the love of the Irish.
Oh, love that.
You said, wait, say it again. You said-
On St. Patrick's Day,
It's
she
just a
sent the
little letter,
letter.
and actually I stole this from Rhonda. She had a little letter, a little postcard that said, today's Irish, I'm very Irish, and I want to pass on the love of the Irish to you. Good luck, here's a lottery.
I love that one.
Yeah.
So if I'm Polish, I could still pass on.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's Irish.
Listen, hey, nobody's gonna appreciate a free lottery card more than a Polish person. You're good. You're good.
I could be Irish for one day.
Yes. So, I added in here the St. Patrick's Day card, the Halloween card with stickers for the kids. What else? One more quick thing.
We didn't do any of the contests in there, is there?
Right. So you can have some type of a
Some type
contest.
of
You can do a
contest.
giveaway tomorrow. One of the vendors that's going to be here is at restaurants.com. Yep. He's the guy that sells those bulk gift cards for restaurants, and it's literally if you buy 100 of them, you get a $100 gift card for $11 or $12.
Right. Or I think it's.
So if we all go together and pitch in, you literally it's a $100 gift card to a restaurant, and you pay like $12 for it. Yeah, so how amazing is that to be able to buy 10 of those? All of a sudden you can do these giveaways and you're not spending a lot of money, right? So, so let's just add giveaways. So right down to the wire, we were able to come up with our 12 touches, including a newsletter. Give yourselves a big hand.
No, give you a big hand for leading us.
No, you all did it. You all did it. So what we'll do
Guidance.
is your notes that you took, if you wouldn't mind, just take a picture of them and text those to me. And I can compose that and get it out on our Facebook page. And I'm going to take pictures of these things and put them up there. And that way we have all of it. And then we can start implementing, right? Was today helpful?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Don't forget tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Be here, be square. It's 12 to 2. Bring your neighbors, bring your friends. If you stop and get gas, bring the guy that works there. Bring all that stuff, right? What else?
This year's a new year.
Anything else? All right. We have a guest here. Let's not blow it. Let's go.
To the top!
Woo! Have a good week.
I was waiting for that.